Okay, I got some more boxes came in the last few days. So I got 2, 4, 5. Yeah, I can still count. Whew, cold in here. Freezing. Okay, let's see what we got here. A bunch of small junk, so let's see what the small junk gives me. Because I don't know what's in here. Something I bought, I'm sure. Yep. Something. Valuable crap. Ooh, like that one. It's the good stuff. Ooh, one of those. Alright, got a collection going. So, there's a collection down there, see? Alright, so we got some good parts, got some crappy parts. So that's Sportster, we don't care about Sportster junk. This here is Harley 45 stuff, we like that. And this one here is probably Sportster K model. Cool, we'll put it in that pile. Alright, so you got 2 different piles. Okay, so this here is a rear motor mount for XLCH. 58's when the aluminum ones come out. That's why they got dates on them. So this is the non-electric start case. So this fits up to 66. And then so it's 58 to 66 Sportster. And then it also fits the XLCH bike only from 68 and 69. And that was the last of the big oval primary case. After that, they went instead of the oval primary, they went to the hump up style for electric start. 70 up there all that way. So this is the early mount. It's supposed to have a nut insert here in both spots, which is missing. So you want to make sure these are not cracked through here, which is real common. Sometimes they crack out the front here. The bolt holes get all eaten out from being misaligned. They get eaten up over here from being loose in the frame. See how this one's nice and machined still. You also see that down here. So it's actually a pretty nice mount. Pretty good condition. Just missing one of the inserts. So that's about the only thing I see wrong with this one. It's really nice actually. So the way you keep from breaking these motor mounts is before you tighten the motor down, all of this is hanging off the frame back here like this. So you got this big motor hanging out here in the front. So what you want to do is, before you tighten the mount down here in the front, put a big lever under there and take some of the weight off the motor. So that takes the weight off of this. And then you tighten down your motor mount up in the front, and then you come back and do these 4 bolts here all the way full tight. And that will take the stress off this mount right through here. Because if you don't do that, all that stress of hanging on the bike is on this mount all the time. And that's hundreds of pounds of pressure. So that breaks them. So take the weight off, and then the motor mounts will live a lot longer and be happier. So anyway, that's that one. This here is a stock kicker arm. It's obviously bent. You can tell it's bent because, see, that's 90 degrees to my table, and it's going this way. So the painted ones have a very light offset one that goes about right here. The Sportster ones kick out further, and the K models kick out further. So you like these nice stock arms because they're forged steel. They're heat treated. They're pretty damn strong. So when you're doing a big stroker motor on the bike, you want to use these nice good stock arms. The late arms replacement stuff will actually bend through here from kicking on them. You get too much tension on them. And they also eat up and through under here. So you want to make sure they're not worn too bad up in here. See how it's still straight cut there. You can see how it wears right against the spot right there where my thumb is. Right here it gets worn. It's not too bad. If the pedal starts getting too far back on you, so instead of the pedal being straight like that, it starts going like this. You weld a little bit of turd right here on the pedal, not on the arm. And that way it'll stop right there, and it'll keep the lever where it belongs. So these are not too hard to straighten out. You just Put them over in the hydraulic press. Give them a couple wick whack bang bangs and it straightens them right out. So that's how these are supposed to be. So let's go over here and do a little customizing. Lights off back here, but camera's fine. It'll work. It's a do-it-yourself kit here. So I always like modifying my parts when I get them, so when they're sitting on the shelf, they're good. So depending on which way it's bent, you roll it this way or this way. Usually they bend when you fall down, so they go inward. That's usually how it works. So a nice piece of metal. There's a piece of metal. I'm going to hold that right there. We need to bend it down, so we're going to hold it right there. Put a little press on here with a hydraulic press. Now, if you're going to use a vise, you can put a bolt in there and help hold it a little bit if you want. Just make sure you got good even pressure on it. Okay. Now we have to use something forceful. See, it doesn't move with your hands. See, it's pretty solid. So we're going to come over here and get a little persuasion tool. Oh, look, I found a persuader. 20-pound lead hammer. If that doesn't work, there's a bigger one down there, weighs about 30. Somewhere. Got a big handle sticking out. Yeah, I don't see it. It's probably up in the mountains where I was using it for spinning more important stuff up there. Okay, there you go. So, lead is dead blow. When you hit, it doesn't move. It doesn't bounce, I should say. The part moves because there's a lot of force involved. So you're going to put a little tonnage on it. So you go up here, put some tons on it. 10 tons works pretty good usually. There's 10. So then you just come over here and get a little love tap right here. It's being held real strong right there. Don't hit on the tip, hit in the middle here. See how it doesn't want to move? It's pretty strong. Oh, there's my big hammer. Yeah, there's my big hammer. There's my big hammer right there. That's the bigger one. Yeah, maybe it ain't that big. About the same size. Okay, so as the tonnage bleeds off here, because your press doesn't hold pressure, you got to put pressure back on it. Okay, so you're looking at this here. I'm hitting on this. It's not exactly bending straight because it's pretty strong. See how it springs? But it is bending. It's getting pretty close. So you need a little something to go by first sight. So you find something laying around is give you a little bit of eyeball length. So you look at that. You want to make sure it looks like it's going straight. It looks like it's going straight down. That's a pretty good sign. So I'd say we probably got that a pretty good hit on that where it needs to be. You can go a little extra if you want, but you don't have to. So you can see how much pressure it took to do that. It took a lot of pressure. That's a lot of weight we're hitting with it there. So you can see how it does it. And a rag with me. Yeah. Towel over here. So now we got a nice straight one. It's worth more money. Yeah, looks pretty good. The other thing you do is when it gets loose on your kicker arm right here, you put it in the press right here and give it a little squeeze. Like that, and you tighten up that square so it goes on with a little light tap. And that'll make everything live a lot longer doing that too. So these are things you do to make these things a little better. When these bolts get stripped up in here, the threads, you go in here and put a helicoil in there, but this looks like they've still got threads in it. When it bends right here on the tip, then usually what I do is I'll put it in the press here and I'll kind of push on it sideways a little bit. It's probably best to put like a bolt in here, or a little short bolt, cut the bolt off, so it's just the top of the bolt. Push on that, so that way you're not just pushing on that corner right there, you're pushing more even, because you want the bend back here, not at the tip. You can actually bend those back down a little bit. But same thing, they're pretty hard. You know, these are heat treated. You can see how much they are. They're like a big spring. So, anyway, there you go. That's a good one now. That's how you do it. Alright, back. I forgot to say what it fits. So this fits your Sportster from 57 up into 70-ish. What year they come with that floppy lever out? Probably mid-70s they got away from this. So probably about 76 or so they would use this lever. So these are the good ones. And when you see when it's all chrome plated, these are made this piece of crap. It's aftermarket, but you got to look at how it's made. When you see the casting down the side here, where the forging, where they cut all the excess metal off, you can see that you can tell it's an original. Sometimes there's some numbers in there, but usually not. But anyway, you can easily tell by looking at a good one from a bad one. Obviously, if you hit it with a hammer, you know instantly. If it was a soft one, you'd hit it, it would go down and just stay down. This one, it springs back up because it's a piece of spring steel. It also goes back to 52, so it fits your K model bike too, which is your flathead Sportster motor. So these are 52 to mid-70s. So there you go.